Welcome to Not Charged Tabletop. I'm
And
Zach,
I'm Mac.
And I'm Pepper.
and today we are talking about our top 10 new to us games of 2025. So, not necessarily 2025 releases, it could have been released in any year. It's just games we played for the first time in 2025 and our top 10 favorites. So, yeah,
Yes.
let us know in the comments below what games you really liked that you played for the first time last year and what you're excited to play in 2026. But yeah, we'll have another video coming out at some point with, it might be before this. I don't know if it'll be before or after, but it'll be our yearly awards, which will also be similar, where it'll be new to us games getting various awards that we're giving out, random categories. So you go check that out. But yeah, we'll get right into our list here. Pepper,
Yes.
lead us off.
I will lead us off. There's a lot of games played this year. I guess I had how many games? 86, I think, new to me games this year, and there's a handful that just barely missed this list. Um, did you guys have numbers for your totals?
I did. I think mine was 123.
Ooh, wow.
So the most games I've ever played in a year since I started, new to me games that I've ever played in a year since I started tracking 3 years ago.
Wow, nice.
I guess I did not put together. How much did you say, Pepper?
I think I had like 86 or something like that.
Okay, so I'll combine the two totals. So
Sounds about right.
I would say somewhere between 150 and 200.
Okay, nice. Pretty impressive. And I makes it easy because of Board Game Arena. You can play a lot of games on there, learn a lot of new games, and most of my list will probably be from Board Game Arena, including my number 10 very quick game. Goes by two names, either Arrow or Sausage Sizzle. So we have Arrow as the picture here, but the dice are Sausage Sizzle. And this is one I played on Board Game Arena, and it is just as filler as it gets, as you are rolling dice and scoring 6 rounds in the game. And there's pretty much two types of dice, number dice and character dice. You score each character once in the game, and each time you do, you take the amount of times you rolled that character multiplied by the lowest result on your 4 number dice. So it's a little bit of push your luck, a little bit of Yahtzee, roll, keep some dice, and maybe shoot the moon because the dice are not regular 1 to 6 dice. They are weighted. One of them's weighted a little bit towards the high numbers and one more towards the ones, which are not great to get because then you'll be multiplying by one. But if you get all ones, then you kind of shoot the moon and you get to multiply your score by 7. So anytime that I have the opportunity to really go for that, I do. I always love that kind of thing in a game. But otherwise, this is just one of my most played, so I thought I gotta put this one on there, even though there may not be that much meat on the bone.
Yeah, I think we had played Sausage Sizzle in a previous year. And yeah, I think when you told me that was on there and that's what it was, I didn't have any clue that that's what it was. I think I went back and played it again. I was like, it's a nice little filler game. It's a
Yeah.
pretty quick one. Could probably play it with most of the family.
Yeah.
So yeah, good pick, Pepper. It's not as fun as Sausage Sizzle, though. That's definitely the preferred name of this game,
Hmm.
I would say. Or you think Arrow is better?
Oh, yeah, no, I think sizzle is where it's at.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Jeez, trying to pretend that AERO is better.
I didn't quite know where you were going when you first started your sentence, so
Sorry.
I may was making up for it.
Well, my number 10, I did not play many times. I actually only played it one time. And yeah, this is my first of actually, well, some of these I played at conventions, but I've also played them at uh, my house as well. But we played a lot of new games at conventions this year, so I'm going to be interested to see how many are on your list from conventions specifically. And this one, I don't know. I went back and forth on whether or not I should put this one on here. There's a lot of other really good games, and I maybe should have given the spot to something else. But I just really had a great time with this, and it's a version of Ticket to Ride. It's Ticket to Ride Marklin.
Oh, wow. What a mark. What a mark. Marklin, you're going in line saying it's the best.
It's pretty good. I like it, even though I misunderstood the rules a little bit.
Whoopsies.
When Michaela had set up the game beforehand, and you can see there's little tokens there. Well, there's a little guy, and then there's tokens in kind of each of the location spots. And during the game, you can put out those guys at a location, and then you can kind of run them through the routes, picking up tokens as you go. And like a lot of games, and this is probably why I should have known that this was probably the case,
Yeah.
but usually the first one to grab the token on top, that's worth more points than the one below it and the one below that kind of thing. So you're trying to get there a little quicker than others. Um, but yeah, that's kind of the big thing in this one is those passengers going along those, and I just really liked what that added. It was just a fun little element of an extra piece of push your luck when it's already a game of it's kind of got some push your luck, like, oh, I should maybe put that route out. I really, really need it. Just in general, Ticket to Ride. But maybe I can wait because I don't know if they're going to go to that part of the board. But yeah, in this one, you're obviously trying to get routes out and trying to set those guys up in the best spot to collect as many of those as possible. But hopefully not wait too long and then get all the scraps like
Whoopsies.
myself.
Yes, I
Uh,
beat him pretty handily for that.
But yeah, I don't think this one's very available, so this would be a I'd have to find this one on the secondhand market somewhere. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to play this one here unless I go out of my way to find a copy because I don't know that it's in print. So, but that's a great thing where conventions have games sometimes that are not easy to get, and then you can try them out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. A good pick, a good twist on Ticket to Ride. My number 10 is a game that Zach got a lot of this publisher this year. And I think
Publisher or
no,
designer?
now you scared me. Designer, sorry. I don't know. All the art looks the same. Uchibukoya?
Oh, the publisher.
Okay.
Ooh.
I didn't know where you were going because we played a lot of Stefan Feld games, so I thought
Oh,
maybe you were talking Stefan Feld.
no, I'm talking about Astia.
Okay.
An Uchibukoya game, which we had many of this year, but this one I think is the top one. No, not quite the top. Maybe spoilers. Okay.
Not the top one.
I don't know. So, in this game, it's you gotta help me with what it's called. Is it rondel when it's like this? The
Uh,
boats.
yes, Rondell, but it's also got a Mancala because you're dropping them off,
Yes, thank you. What he said.
right,
So,
Pepper? It's
Yep.
got both those on.
yes. So that's kind of the main thing. That's how you perform all your actions and get resources. That's all contained in that one little hexagon. But you use what's out there or what's in your little hexagon to get your little boats kind of down their individual pathways. That you can get buildings, get scoring points, get set collection along the way.
Pet collection.
Set collection, I can't say it. Set collection along the way, and essentially, it's kind of it's not really a race game, but it does end when certain conditions are met, and then it's just kind of whoever has the most points. So there's some different strats you can take. We've played a couple of times. Each time that Mancala gets me every time. It feels like I feel like I got it, and then I start getting it going, and then I'm like, wait a minute, all my votes are in the wrong spot. So we're gonna have to figure out what we're doing here. So
It's a little weirder than like Crusaders. I Will Be Done. It's kind of similar to that, but it's also different because you kind of the area where you're taking the boats from that will generally generate resources for you in that area for the number of boats you have. And then when you put them out, it will activate the area where the last boat lands. You're dropping one at a time. So it's kind of a little strange, but yeah, it does work pretty well. And then I also like that it has the kind of scythe style of scoring where you're going
mhm,
up this one track that multiplies your different things that you can score in the game as you go up it. So
yeah, kind of a unique medium-ish weight, I guess I would say. Medium to
Yeah.
heavy. But
Yeah.
Asia.
This is another one I don't know how widely available it is currently.
What's up, food peeps?
But
Oh
Blame
boy.
Zach.
I gotta play it. I got to play it. I gotta play my number nine more too. Of the games that just kind of almost made the list, I feel like I had to pick one, and I think that's my number nine of games that I just played once, really enjoyed Board Game Arena, and this one is Sneferu. However you pronounce that. With also familiar artwork from the Miko, who's spread out and gone farther from just Garfield games and just does everything and makes it feel comfortable. And this one, you're building your pyramid is kind of what your goal is. Well, I guess your goal is to complete your pyramid or be the player with the most complete at the end of the game. So it's very simple. You just are most concerned about getting the most tiles out there. And how you do that is you draft from this board of tiles, and based on what column you're taking from and how far up in the column you're taking them, you'll have to spend a certain amount of food or a certain amount of time on this winding time track. Once you get to the end of the trek, your game's over. So you need to manage that, but you also have to make sure you have enough food to pay for the tiles, and you gain food by creating clusters and cutting them off of the same color in your pyramid and a couple different ways. I just thought this was a really just fun trying to keep the engine going, trying to keep alive and keep getting producing food, not wasting all of your time, getting your marker on those bonus spaces on the track that kind of gives you something to aim for. Because there are these bonuses that give you extra things if you're getting a certain color tile, if you're on this spot on the track. So it gives you a little focus when you're starting off of kind of what you want to go for. And yeah, this one I think is not too complicated either. It may look like, oh, there's a lot going on with this board, but it's pretty straightforward as well.
yeah, I remember liking this one. Definitely need to play this one again. Because yeah, it's kind of that efficiency puzzle of getting as many. I think I remember in the play we had of it, I it took me just a little bit too long, too much time to get the kind of food resource that I needed to kind of really set myself up. So I got just a little bit too far behind you. So it does have a little bit of racy feel to it, but
Yeah.
uh, I think it's a fun little puzzle.
Looks cool, Pepper.
Yes. Um, my number nine, I think Pepper's going to be a pretty big fan of. It might be on his list if he counts it. I'm not sure if he will or not. Um, but yeah, this is the one game I've played on Steam. It's the only one that I've done that. I have not played a physical copy of this game, and I can't imagine I ever will after playing it there, just because I think it'd be managing way too many things. And this is Gloomhaven. So I finally got to Gloomhaven after it's finally dethroned and it's fallen down the ranks on Board Game Geek. But yeah, I can definitely see what all the hype was about in this one. It's a fun dungeon crawler style game where you're kind of managing these cards in your hand, and they've got a kind of time value um, to kind of trigger when you'll take your action versus when the other creatures or your teammates will take theirs. And then you kind of use a top benefit of a card and a bottom benefit. And most of the time, it feels like one kind of allows you to move and one allows you to attack. But as you get upgrades and stuff, sometimes they'll let you move and attack, or maybe they'll have attack on both of the options. So if you're, hand to hand combat at that point right next to them and you just want to keep attacking, you can maybe have some of those cards. So yeah, it's just a really fun combat puzzle. It just works really, really well. And then yeah, you're trying not to become exhausted by because when you use the cards, they kind of go into a discard, and if you have to like refresh them, you kind of have to pay with the cards. And yeah, I think it's just a really interesting, unique system that works really well, but works really well digitally. I think I commend the people that did play this, have played this on a physical tabletop. I cannot imagine that doing it that way. So it's a great game though.
Oh boy. Really getting to it now, huh? All right. Well, my number nine is a civilization game. And I know you're gonna ask, well, which one? Because there's like 85 of them in the last like 2 years alone. And that is Millennia Tracks of Time. Which, to
Ooh.
be fair, it doesn't even say it's a civilization game anywhere in the title.
That's like a Civ themed game.
Okay, okay,
People
okay.
are gonna come after us if we say this is a Civ game.
I know, but I gotta give them something.
That's true.
I
Give them
gotta
something
give
to
them
complain about.
something to talk about. So we've played this one probably in the last couple of months, and we played it quite a few times, and I really enjoyed what it was. It's essentially kind of a tableau game that impacts these different tracks. The tracks are essentially your civilization, and those are what's going to count at the end of the game. So basically using cards to make the tracks go up, hopefully. And there's some other cards like monuments and landscape cards that kind of help you on the interim stuff and maybe some end game scoring. There's some research cards that just get you straight up points, but it's kind of this fun shuffle of the cards in front of you are only good for so long. So you might play 4 rounds, but or 8 rounds, I think it is. Um, but some cards you can only have in front of you for 2 rounds or until round five. And so you're kind of constantly shuffling out the different symbols that you're getting, which impacts which tracks you get to go up on. So it's kind of this cool puzzle, this moving puzzle of like what you're trying to get. How you get that is really interesting too. And so it's just really kind of a streamlined version. And I think Tracks of Time is an apt description because that's what it is. You're going about these tracks. And I think it's just really clean for what it is and a really great game. And dare I say, a really great addition to a board game collection.
Ooh.
Ooh. It's got
Well,
me
I'm really
interested.
happy with those two picks that you've had back to back there. Neither one made my list, but I did really like both of them. And yeah, I think that mechanism of the kind of aging of the um,
Cards.
technology or
Yeah.
cards that you're gaining that lasts from it might just last you that one round that you have it. So it's like, yeah, each of the cards provide you those symbol. I think that system works really, really well because yeah, it's managing if you want something for a long time, even though it might not be as good of a symbol, versus yeah, I just need something this round. I don't care if it's gone after that. Uh,
Mm,
really fun,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. I just like the look of all these tracks. My goodness.
and that's
I
only a few of them.
Yeah.
I know.
There's like
I was
6 more.
looking and I'm like, it's fitting that Tracks is the name of this game, and I was looking through the pictures. Good pick. I haven't played it, but I look forward to. But we have all played my number eight just recently. This is a legacy game. This is Ziggurat, a legacy adventure game. And this one, I'm always down for a legacy game, especially one with a beautiful cover from designed by Matt Leacock and Rob Daviau, who have brought some fantastic games, fantastic legacy games. And then seeing that board, 3D board, tower, ziggurat, and it's like, okay, is this just gonna be a gimmick? Is there gonna be enough here? Plus, it's more of like a family weight, it sounded like it was gonna be. And we played the first game, and I'll say, yeah, it felt like a family game. But then it really brought it up to the next level, I would say, with every subsequent
Wow,
game. And it
wow.
did get actually pretty meaty and pretty thinky. By the end of it, we were struggling to win some of these games, and it whooped us up real good. And yeah, it's a shorter campaign too, so we played it in like a week, and most of it in just one day, pretty much. And yeah, I don't know. This is just really, it's kind of shoots and ladders. You're playing cards to move your characters around and go up the ladders, down the chutes, moving these obstacles around as well to try to move them out of your way, eliminate them from the board. And based on what scenario you're playing, you'll have different objectives, different things you want to do. But I just thought it took that system that probably a lot of people would say is a terrible system, shoots and ladders, and I think they made a really cool game out of it.
I agree. I think that was kind of a weird hit this year. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting it, but yeah, shoots and ladders, but cooler.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought there was a chance it could be too light, but I feel like by the end it was like the kind of the perfect amount. Yeah, it was one of my biggest surprises of the year. I think I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but
Yeah.
did not quite make my list. But it was a very fun experience. And then all of a sudden we went to like some board game store in Barnes and Noble or whatever afterwards, and then we're just seeing it like nonstop. I'm like, I think this came out like a year or two ago. Why are we seeing all these boxes of it? People are finally figuring out the ziggurat is worth it. But
Nice.
yeah, it's a good pick, Pepper. My number eight is by another designer we all know. He's made a lot of games. He's designed a lot of games, a lot more than Rob Davio and Leacock. And this is a Reiner Knizia design. It is Rebirth.
Ooh, nice.
And yeah, I really love this cover. I love the look of the board. It's just got a, I don't know, really nice green and blue look to it. And then when you start adding kind of the tokens and stuff to it. I don't. They
It's
just kind of pop. It has
it's
a really
pretty vibrant. Like
yeah
the colors,
Yeah.
the however they did the saturation on the colors, it's just they pop totally. It's just green, but it's a nice green.
Yeah.
yeah yeah 100%. And yeah, it's a pretty simple game if you've played Reiner Knizia games. You you've probably played some that are maybe similar feeling to this, just because yeah, it's kind of simple actions of pulling. You can see some of the tokens on there with like the lightning bolt and the plant. You pull a random token from your bag, and then you have to place it somewhere out on the board. And yeah, you're usually trying to group yours together, typically, because then they'll kind of keep scoring. As the group gets bigger, it'll score, that many points. So if you're adding to kind of a group of five lightning bolts, you're adding a sixth one, you'll get 6 points for that. So your opponents are also trying to cut you off to stop you from doing that. But so you got to kind of, we've played it mostly at two, maybe always at two player.
Yeah.
So I would be interested to see kind of with more, if there's kind of more. I feel like with us, we kind of both just let each other sort of do what we want to some extent.
Yeah, I think it's hard in a two-player game because like you have to either sacrifice points to block.
Right.
So when it's 1v1, it's hard to both score points and block.
Yeah,
So,
but I wouldn't mind trying this one at more because
yeah.
it's really snappy. Because yeah, like I said,
Mhm.
you're just pulling that tile and you have to place it somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also like castle ones and stuff that they score. And when you go next to some of these buildings or building spots, you'll get some end game scoring cards. And if you get all of them, I think there's like
The
seven
cathedral.
cards or something by the
Yeah.
end of the game. So you can potentially score some points that way as well. So yeah, just a fun little experience there. And I don't know that it's going to make your list, so I'm going to mention quickly just another Reiner Knizia game that I really loved. That would probably be one of the old, yeah, probably older than Ticket to Ride, Margaret. Through the Desert,
Hmm.
Mm.
another really surprising one for me. I really liked Through the Desert. Really wanted it to get on my list, but I'm like, I can't give Reiner Knizia that many spots
Nice.
because it was another one of those like, oh, simple action set, but just this kind of fun decision space.
Yeah,
Hmm.
agreed.
Nice.
Yeah, I think Rebirth is really good. It didn't make my top 10. It was probably really close, but yeah, I think just playing it only at two players maybe, I mean, it's good, but maybe hurt a little bit. So I kept it off and I missed an opportunity with my number eight because I put Flip 7 as my
Oh,
number eight.
Uh,
Whoopsies. Should have put it at seven. Oh well. So this is one I actually learned towards the end of the year and had some fun with it. And then we had it down in Florida when we were visiting all the fam. And it's always good when you have a game that like your parents can play and have fun with, and you can play and not like get too like bored or still be interested in it. And I feel like Flip 7 is just a really good mix of things. I would say it's party styled
hmm.
ish, and so I think if for what that is, I think it's a really good addition, kind of a surprising thing that there still can be a party style game coming out that isn't already in existence that really scratches a really nice itch of like pressing your luck and stuff. And kind of the very simple ways that you can interact with other people, I think is it makes it interesting enough without being like terribly mean or going up against someone. Sometimes it's fun to pick on Jesse, but doesn't always work. So,
I feel like I
which
got
I don't
frozen all three times in one game.
right. Poor
Ah,
Jesse. And if you haven't heard of Flip 7 this year, which seems almost impossible because I feel like it's been raging like wildfire, essentially it's a push your luck game where there is a set of cards 0 to 12, and for the number it is, that's how many cards there are on the deck. So for twos, there's two twos. For nines, there's nine nines, and essentially you're pushing your luck each turn. You're deciding, do you want to take another card? If it matches one card you have out in front of you, it busts. If not, and you get all the way to 7, you get a bonus. There's some other cards that intermingle with it, but essentially it's a push your luck. And so kind of a easy style blackjack maybe. And if you like that, Flip 7 will be fun. Your mom and dad liked it, right?
they did. They did. That was my mom's favorite game of the week, so I assume of the year as well. So she doesn't play nearly as many new ones as us.
Ooh.
Good
Good
pick.
pick. My number seven is kind of a crossover with that on initials. We've got another FS here, except there's also a D at the end of this because it's a re-implementation of Forest Shuffle. This is Forest Shuffle, Dartmoor. Kind of a cheat. I've already played Forest Shuffle. I don't know if that made my top of the year, whatever it was. There's always a lot of competition. It might not have made it. But getting back to this one, a standalone game, so it counts. It just reminded me, it was so easy to jump back into this because we hadn't played it in like forever, and it's pretty much the same system, and it was so easy to get back into. And I love this system. I love putting these cards and building them and building these synergies and these multipliers of scoring. And it's just so satisfying when you get there, you see that tree, and you got them completely filled up. And some of the things let you break the rules and like stack multiple cards, whatever bugs those are, or birds. And yeah, the scores can get absolutely massive in this game. It's a lot of fun. It's extremely popular for a shuffle, so I don't think I need to sell it too much. But if you haven't tried it out ever, if you just like a game like this, cards with a ton of symbols, multi-use, like they can go to either side of the tree, top, bottom, left, right, and just trying to work those symbols together to score. This is perfect. Does it perfectly.
Yeah, that's a great pick. That one did not make my list, unfortunately, but I really love Forest Shuffle and yeah, the Dartmoor edition as well. It's a really fun system.
Mhm.
Nice little tableau built in front of you. My number seven, I didn't miss the opportunity, and
Ah,
I keep the FS going with Flip 7 crossover.
Ooh
wow.
boy.
Sort of.
Oh boy.
So yeah, Flip 7, you pretty much said everything about it. I love the press your luck. I feel like this. It had to have been a game like this before. It's just a great party style game that just makes a lot of sense. I think you can teach it to almost anyone. And yeah, just it feels like a classic card game that
Mhm.
already should have existed. I'm just surprised at how good it is. But yeah, my initial thoughts on this one were not that because I had played the first time on Board Game Arena, first couple times, and I was like, yeah, I don't know, I don't see what all the hype is about this game. And then yeah, we got a chance to play it in person, and I was like, yeah, when you get that feel and you're right there and you're witnessing the cards being put in front of you, it's just a whole different feel. It's just yeah, so much fun. So Flip 7, my number 7 of the year.
Good
Nice.
pick, good pick.
You keep the FS going, Mac?
I cannot.
What?
Maybe later, but for now, we're gonna have
FFS, Mac.
to. For now, we're gonna have to switch to TG for the gang,
Ah, okay.
which this is
But
it
sure this isn't my list.
get your own list. Which this is a cooperative poker style game, in which I don't even know if I can explain it because I don't really understand poker. But essentially, you're trying to get in order. The people at the table, you're trying to get in order based on clues that you're allowed to give each other, who has like the best hand versus the worst hand, and kind of get in kind of correct order. And then assign best to worst, and then reveal and see if you get there. There's more to it, but that's as best and most specific as I can be about it. We played this kind of early on, and we did play it with all of my siblings, and I think we all had a lot of fun with it. None of us really understand poker at all, so that was kind of a challenge, but we were willing to just laugh it off and go forth. Yeah, it's good. It's always good when I can get my little brother at the table because he's not always big on tabletop games, but he seemed to really enjoy this one. And for a cooperative game, it was really good.
True, you don't always love cooperative games, and
Mm-mm.
yeah, I think your older brother knew some poker, but I was pretty much the only one that knew poker at the table, so it's makes it a little more difficult.
We got there in the end.
Because yeah, you're hinting each other with these poker chips as to how good your hand is, and I'm pretty sure at one point Eli had a pair in his hand, a high pair, and he didn't want to take before anything else was revealed. He didn't want to take any or didn't want to take the biggest chip or say that he had the best hand. Essentially, oh boy, that makes it tough when he's
Well, to be fair, the poker
yeah.
aids that they give you aren't exactly the clearest that they could be for,
Well, they're clear as to what the hands are, but
yeah.
they're not clear as to oh, you get this hand like one out of
Yeah.
10,000
Mm.
times. This hand you get most of the time, and
Yeah.
that in that way it's not clear.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good
Nice
pick.
pick. Nice pick. My next one is not at all a cooperative game. This is a head-to-head dueling game. The best duel version of a game since Seven Wonders Duel. Maybe even better. And that is King of Tokyo Duel. I have played King of Tokyo. I was mid on it. I really wanted to like it, liking Godzilla, Godzilla versus Kong. But just something about that going in Tokyo, choosing whether to stay in there and you're fighting everybody and everyone's fighting you. I just did not really like that system at all. But just making it a head to head, you're attacking each other or winning of various different ways of track movement. So a few different options to win here, as is common with kind of these dual versions of existing games. So I think I've won each of the ways. You can either bring both of these track markers about halfway to your side, or you can bring one of them all the way to your side, or you can just take all of your opponent's health off of them. And that is a fun way. We did not think that was possible, but then it was possible. In the next game we tried, I got some huge hits on Zach, which was pretty crazy. But yeah, and then the card play is probably about the same as you can expect from King of Tokyo, getting these cards with ongoing abilities or instant effects and different things like that. But this is my King of Tokyo, everything that I want from it.
Yeah, I might have to try this one again. I know when we played it those first few times and you whooped me like every time. I was not the biggest fan of it. I didn't enjoy it all that much, but I might have to try it again because you do really seem to really like this one.
I
So
do.
maybe I missed something.
Pretty good. It is pretty good.
Yes. My number six is from one of my favorite publishers. We finally got this one to the table. It had been kind of one to get that was tough to get to the table. We kind of had it on the table. We'd take the rule book out, but not really learn it a few times this year. And then we finally got it played. It's Shem Phillips' farming game. It is Scarborough.
Ooh.
And it lived up to all the hype in my head. It has like 20 different
Yeah,
resources that you're managing.
same.
Yeah, managing your little hut or area where you're
Mhm.
trying to not be too wasteful, trying
Yep.
to keep your waste to a minimum by doing kind of this. this interesting, weird drafting of
Hmm.
the cards initially, and then like re-trigger it based on how many of the same symbol you have, making your actions stronger. It's just this combo of all really fun things, and I think they all just came together really well. And yeah, it's getting back to maybe a little bit of a lighter side of Garfield games, so kind of not as heavy as the South Tigris series has been,
No.
but yeah, I feel like it could be one of their classic games again. I don't know if people are not as interested in these ones. I don't hear as many people talking about this, but I think it's a really solid one if you tend to like their games, especially kind of like the Raiders or the Architects or Viscounts. I think this one is another great one that they've put out. So yeah, Scara Beret.
Good pick. Yep, I like it.
But do you love it?
I didn't love it after
Wow.
it was good, but I didn't like it enough after one play to put it on my list.
Okay.
Okay. I did, however, learn this one at a convention, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But my number six, after playing it at a convention, we had to buy it, and we may have also bought other stuff for it, is Trails of Tucana.
Ooh.
I'm a sucker for verb and verb games, and this one is no different. It's probably nothing like extremely exciting or different about what this one does, but for some reason, it just scratches a really good itch for a verb and verb. And essentially, you have two cards, you flip them over with different landscape types, and you have to connect those two landscape types somewhere on your map. And essentially, you're just trying to build. Pathways between either different icons or a start and stop point, and all of this adds up to get you some different points. So pretty straightforward, nothing like super crazy here, but it was I don't know, it was just a really good time, and I really have enjoyed all of our playthroughs of it. And I might be a sucker because I grew up with the like 1995 Georgia the Jungle, which had a Tuki bird. And so for some reason, this just brings me back to my childhood a little bit with a big old Tuki bird on it.
Wow.
Wow, wow, wow. So that's all it takes.
That's all it takes is a little Tuki bird.
I was gonna say I don't even know that you really have much of a Tukey bird in the game itself, so
Do not, but it's called Trails of Tucana, and he's right on the box cover.
yeah, that's true.
He is.
He's
And he's got a
right.
backpack.
Wow.
Oh, man. Well,
Okay.
now I'm 10 times more excited. Now that I realize there's a Tuki bird on there.
Yeah,
Georgia, the
that's good.
jungle,
Good
needed,
pick.
not included in the game. Okay, I got a verb and verb here. I don't know if Michaela has played it. I have played it a ton on Board Game Arena, and that is Splitter. He
Mm-mm.
has not played it. This one is pretty simple. You got two dice, you got a grid of squares, and you roll both the dice, and you put each of those die results into a square on this board, and you're trying to connect a set of squares of the same number equal to the value of the number. So you want a group of five fives, not any more, not any less. Then you'll score 5 points. A group of three threes would score you 3 points, and so on there. But the trick here is that the board is split in half, splitter, and when you fill in one of the spots of the two dice, the other result goes on the flip side, goes on the reverse. So as you can see there, they went right next to the middle line there, so just flipped right over with the other number on the other side. So you may be getting the numbers you want, on one side, but they are not working for you on the other side, and trying to puzzle it out on this board. And the other board is much more complicated. It's not nearly as wide open as this one. I think I might slightly prefer the classic wide open version here, but both of them are pretty unique and change the experience a decent amount for such a simple game, but I just love the puzzle of that and how the game changes based on what you roll. Sometimes you're just getting a ton of a number. Sometimes maybe you can get two sets of sixes, but very unlikely. And sometimes you can't even get one because you just aren't rolling that number. And the star spaces double if you get a set that covers onto that star space. So I always try to get a 5, 6 onto those star spaces, but like I said, it's opposite, so you have to get it in one roll and set it up there. It's a really unique twist on such a simple thing.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sounds like a good one, Pepper.
Yeah.
back to back, simpler, fun verb and verb games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
might have to try this one on BGA.
yeah.
Are you
Right.
continuing the trend, Zach? Even
I am not.
simpler.
I'm not continuing the trend. I've got an amazing game. My number five, from my other, one of my other favorite publishers. I'm actually wearing a shirt that says "World of Wings Fan," and yeah, it's got the fish way at the bottom can't be seen. Uh, this one is Fins Fan, the game that I
Ooh.
always asked for.
Mm.
Ooh, got
And
another FS in there, kinda.
there we go. There we
Nicely
go. That's what I was
done.
going for.
Nicely
Uh,
done.
the year of the FS. And yeah, this one, I was a little worried because he'd said like, oh, it's the lighter version of Wingspan. I was like, I mean, Wingspan's not like light, but it's medium,
Mhm.
leaning maybe a little more light. Maybe some of the card abilities are more in the medium area or whatever. But it's like I wouldn't say that's the heaviest game to begin with. So if we're getting lighter, I was a little nervous that it might be too light feeling, especially since he's kind of taking away the resources in a way, sort of, and yeah, making it a little bit easier to play the fish and stuff. I was like, I don't know if I'll like this one as much, but. Yeah, it still uses kind of some of that core wingspan-ness to it, where you're going down instead of going across track, now you're going down
Mhm.
columns instead, but you're kind of triggering things similarly. And these fish kind of have some of those abilities potentially on them. And yeah, some can only be placed in certain spots. Some, or a lot of them have kind of those similar to wingspan, kind of white immediate effects. So. I think this one's much more of kind of managing your puzzle, especially with like eggs and things and
Mhm.
fish, because there's a lot of them that like, oh, lay eggs on every fish in your blue column, lay them on everyone in your bottom row, or something along those lines. So it's like, okay, I just played one of those, and now I've got all of these eggs all played. I gotta somehow get rid of them so that I can play this other fish that's going to refill them all back up.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's just a fun little efficiency puzzle, a fish and sea puzzle, that just works really, really well. And now that I just said that, I should have made this my number one with such a great quote like that.
Oh,
Wow.
brother.
Oh, that was
Yeah, I'm
legendary.
so glad that I actually really liked it because I was a little worried. And I'm like, finally getting the Finns fan that I've wanted. This is going to be too light of a game, but no, it feels different enough from Wings fan too that
Yeah,
can own both.
Hmm.
definitely is not a bad pick.
Hmm.
Um, all right, moving along. I will keep the F going, but not the FS. My number five is a game called Fate, which
Ooh.
surprisingly is another cooperative game. It's
Defenders of something
Yes,
something Grimheim.
Defenders of Grimheim. Yes, the Fate Defenders of Grimheim. So another cooperative game, which is kind of shocking. Because if you know me at all, you know that's not my style of game. But this one, for whatever reason,
We might have to look up those miniatures.
I know I was just thinking the same thing. I'm completely distracted by them. Uh, but this game is really kind of I don't know. It's basically a
It's kind of
splash and
tower defense.
yeah. And it does it really well, I think. You're essentially playing a hero, some kind of a Norse hero, and you have a deck of cards, a couple decks of cards actually. And so you essentially are just trying to defend Grimheim until the end of all of the rounds, using your cards, your special abilities, some quest icons that you can get. It's really a fun thing. And in the meantime, you're getting swarmed by monsters that have special abilities and things get crazy. Like just super quick. We've only ever played it at two players, and I think we have struggled almost every single time to win. But it keeps you on your toes, and I think it's really engaging for what it is. You're pretty limited in what you can do with your cards and stuff, and so I think that makes it kind of a unique co-op because you can only do what you can do. You can't really mitigate a lot of things, so it's really like, well, I'll take these guys, you try to take those guys, and we'll meet up at the end of the rounds, kind of a thing. So I think it'd be interesting to see it at a higher player count, but even at two players, I think it's really fun to chuck the dice and see what you get. For me, normally not very good, but still fun.
Yeah, I think if we play at a higher player count, it's going to look like this board here, where
Yeah.
they're coming from every angle.
Why are the trolls so big? That's what I gotta.
They're huge.
That is those green ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because are those normal sized dice? Because those look tiny next to those.
No, those are teeny tiny red dice.
Oh, teeny tiny dice. Okay, good. I was
They're
like,
very
wow.
teeny tiny.
They're to track hit points.
Yeah. They're,
Okay.
they're luckily not the ones you're rolling to when
Mm-hmm.
you attack. So the ones that when you roll, yeah, they're much. Well, they're not that much bigger. I
No.
mean, they're bigger, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not huge. They're not normal
Yeah.
kind of size dice.
Okay.
Right.
Well, good pick. Good pick.
Good pick. My next one is a crossover with Zach, and it's a crossover in that it's a cooperative game where you're taking out baddies, and that
With
is
me or Michaela? Oh,
with
I see.
Michaela. Ah, yes. So this is
I see. The last one was just
Gloomhaven.
cooperative too. Sorry.
Yes.
I was so confused.
Oh, confused. Me too. I'm confused why it took us this long to play Gloomhaven. We were haters. Well, I was a hater for the longest time. Oh, number one. Goonhaven, I call it. Well, I'm a goon. I was the goon all along. And now we love this game. I agree, totally can't imagine playing it in person. Have played Jaws of the Lion. At least that's got the flip book. That's extremely easy to set up and to play and get into. And little buttons and bugs was great, easy to play as well. Although kind of got immediately overshadowed because it's kind of like right after I started playing that one. We got this on Steam, and it's just been fantastic. Has all the animation for you, so you get that, and sound effects and voiceover. It just adds so much to the already great core system that is Gloomhaven.
Yeah. And I think it sounds like Frosthaven is coming at some point
Oh boy.
onto Steam. So I'm like, oh boy.
Tell me
We
it's
gotta
going to
get
be free with Prime, too.
I'm sure it will not. At least not for a while. But yeah, great pick, Pepper. Great pick. Um, my number four has almost been as big in a small way as Gloomhaven. It is one where I can't remember if me and Pepper had played it before seeing this comment or after seeing this comment of someone on Board Game Arena saying all people ever play is this game. Is all. Why won't anyone play? I don't even remember what they were asking. I think they were asking, looking for someone to play some game. And they're like, hey, all anyone wants to play is this game. Did we play it before that, Pepper, or after?
Oh, I think we might have just started playing it.
Okay. That is sea salt and paper.
Okay. That's a
And
good one.
yes, it is a very small game. It's even smaller than I thought.
Oh, wow. That is way smaller than I thought.
Barely fits in the box.
Yeah. Yeah, can't have too much extra content in that one. That's pretty much everything you got there. But yeah, this one, yeah, I don't know why we never played it. I knew it was on there, but for some reason, I don't know if I thought it was like some auction bidding game or something. That's all I can remember is thinking it was something like that. And I had totally forgotten that it was Bruno Catala, and I don't think does he do auction games? I
I
don't know that
don't
he
think
does,
so.
so that should have told me if I had known that. That it probably wasn't one of those. But yeah, it's just a simple-ish card game. There's some luck to it for sure. Because yeah, you're kind of picking up these different cards with different symbols and colors on them. And if you're able to get like pairs of them together, they allow you to kind of do some bonus actions. You're playing them out of your hand. And the whole thing is you're trying to get 7 or more points in your hand or played, and then you can kind of declare that the round is over. And it's like the first to 40 points or whatever you're playing to. And there's kind of two ways you can declare it. You can either say we're just done, and then everyone just scores whatever points they have at that moment, or you can, I don't remember what is it called, Tucker?
Last chance.
Last chance them, which allows everyone to have one more turn. You're taking a risk there. You don't have to. You can go more than 7 points and try to build up and maybe do a last chance then. But yeah, you allowed them one more turn, and if you beat them, then you get to score not only your normal points, but then the number. So there's the different colored cards. Whatever you have the greatest of, you also add that in addition. But if someone beats you, then they score their full points, and you only score
Color.
your colors.
Hmm.
It's a weird little scoring thing,
Yeah.
but I think after you play it a few times, it makes more sense.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's just a fun, quick game that, yeah, I'm surprised I hadn't played for a long time. And
Yeah.
apparently, all those people playing it on Board Game Arena were right.
Well, I just learned that in 2026, so we'll have to see if it's a contender for the end of the year for me next year.
That's true. It may have been nominated for some awards, so I
Yeah.
told her, "Well, we got a copy. How about you play it just to see how you rank this?"
How quick.
So
All right, well, my number 4 is the same designer as another one of my games on my list, and kind of a shock to me that I like it so well because I would not say the theme is anywhere near something I'm interested in. It is another Uchipakoya production, and it is Biohack.
Ooh, biohack.
Yes, very freaky. You're essentially making mutant animals things, playing with DNA and getting cards out, buying them, kind of a thing. It's really dark and thematic that way. We've only ever played it at 2 players, but it is, I think, pretty interesting because you have some workers, so it's worker placement. But not only do you place them out, but you also have to pull them back. And then there's a secondary worker placement set that you can do, and kind of first come, first serve. It makes it really interesting for putting out, pulling off. And then in the meantime, you're doing all of these things to try and get some different DNA in order to finish out. You can only get so many cards, but essentially to get, I think it's 7 cards in the 2 player game, and score the most points at the end of the game with some different set collection, or goals that you're needing to get for some of the different end game scoring stuff. So yeah, kind of darkly thematic, but I really like how this game worked all around. We played it again somewhat recently, and I was like, yeah, it's really good. Quite surprised.
Hmm.
yeah, I'm surprised it made it down your list and made it this high up. Yeah, I think my only problem with it was that it's one of those race style games because you're very limited in what you can play, and just with what it has in it, especially kind of some of the cards you play with discounts and stuff, it's just like, oh, it just feels like you're just getting ready, and it's weird because yeah, in a 2 player game you only play so many cards. There's just a couple more empty spots. It
Mhm.
already feels like a short game, so it's like, why couldn't we just have someone fill up or everyone be able to fill up your whole board? I don't know. We could
Scoring
maybe try it like
points
that.
that way.
But yeah, otherwise I really like it because yeah, that worker placement. Well, you're all kind of hidden. You're playing these cards to show where your workers are going to go out,
Mhm.
and then when you pull them off, if there's multiple, you get a better reward than um,
If it,
if it's alone.
yeah,
So that's where the timing is interesting of going into that one area with really good stuff,
yeah,
versus maybe pulling off earlier. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a really fun worker placement thing.
Hmm. Interesting.
I love worker placement.
I know. I know
I'm
exactly.
so glad you're putting all these games on your list that
I
should
think
have been on mine.
are you making this list against your will, Mac? Because there's a lot of games he wants. Blink twice, Mac. Uh,
No, so far this is all me, baby.
nice. It's got me interested. Got me interested in this one. I didn't even know you guys had it. My number three, I think, is the first three-way crossover so far.
Should it have been number seven?
Should have been number seven. It is Flip 7. And I think I followed the same path as Zach, where initially I was like, it's good, it's fun. And then just with each subsequent play and in person with the whole family, and I'm just like, oh, this is like, if you call it a party game, it's probably my favorite party game, favorite kind of family gathering game. I think this will be, and I think it's going to be the go-to. And I love Push Your Luck, and it is just pure push your luck and math and sometimes even multiplication with that two times card that is so awesome when it comes out and so disappointing when you get it and then someone immediately freezes you so you don't even get to use it. Oh, grinds my gears.
It
But
def
and it's they got just enough of unique things in here with those orange cards that can multiply or just get you bonus points, or the flip three, freeze, or second chance. It's got me thinking like, are there more things we could do? I feel like they could do some more unique things, but even with what they have, I think it just mixes it up just the perfect amount. And the only real negative is I feel like I should be counting cards to really have an advantage as the deck gets down there, but who has time for that? This is
exactly.
fantastic. I'm even dressed kind of with the color scheme of the box cover.
Wow, it should have been your number one, Pepper.
Should have been. Should have been.
Mistakes.
Yeah, it's a pretty great three-way crossover that I would have, at the midway point in the year, or even probably a couple, few months ago, would not have thought that would be the case. So, yeah. My number three is a crossover with Mac. Um, yeah, and this was one that I've been surprised by as well. It as a cooperative game, and I'm surprised you liked it as much because you don't tend to like cooperative games. But yeah, this is Fate, Defenders of Grimheim.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
It's fun to take out baddies.
it is. It is. And that might be the only little bit of negative is sometimes you don't get as many attacks as you'd like. You get surrounded. You're surrounded by these, but you can only take like one attack typically,
Yeah.
outside of if you kind of have upgraded cards and stuff and you have some special abilities. Sometimes those allow you to kind of do additional attacks. So you got to kind of be ready. But it's just, yeah, you don't have time. You don't really have time to get ready either. It's just all out war. And just about the time you're clearing kind of the first wave, it seems like a next wave is coming. So yeah, it's
Then
just
they start to charge.
yeah. Then they charge. Then they're moving twice as fast across the board. So it's just a lot of fun. We originally were playing with there's kind of this die. I'm just like it can't be that hard. Let's just play with this
Monster die.
monster die that kind of they could do some additional things or whatever during their kind of phase. Um, by the third or fourth game, we put that away because that we're like, well, I don't think we really need that. We're already losing without that. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, I really like the upgrade system with that, and it sounds like maybe they could have potential additional characters in the future. I think the four that they have in there kind of all feel a little bit different from each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to play this one a lot more. So.
Pepper, you gotta come
It
play
might,
this one.
it might, after the Empire might have been beaten for tower defense game.
What about Castle Panic? Does this have a big boulder that comes in and wipes out half of the monsters?
Unfortunately, it doesn't. But if they make
Ah,
an expansion, maybe they'll add that. But
yes.
otherwise, yes, I think it feels like a hardcore gamer's version of Castle Panic,
Okay.
is what it
Still
feels like.
approachable though. Still approachable.
Yeah.
Or is this heavy?
No, I think it's approachable, but there's just these few things.
Yeah.
It took us a few games to actually get everything played right because each of the monsters had abilities. I
Yeah.
don't think we noticed
Uh,
that the first game, so we were losing even though we weren't even doing the negative abilities. And
Yeah.
then, but we were also
playing wrong for
not picking
people.
up
Yeah.
cards for ourselves, which would have helped us. So it's kind of an offset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
Doesn't
a few
matter.
things going on, but if you actually follow the little thing on your board, then
Yeah.
you actually will do all the steps. So, yeah, otherwise the actions are pretty simple. There's only six actions you can really take, and they all make sense.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah. I think that's like top of my list to play once I get there.
All right, Pepper, come on over. All right, my number three was a big hit early on for me in the year. We played it at our first con of the year, and it was shiny and pretty and had a cool pieces. But on top of that, the gameplay was super fun and I really enjoyed it. So much so that you got us the copy and I waited impatiently for you to unbox it for months for us to finally get it to the table and play it twice. And that is Marrakesh, a
Ooh.
Steffenfeld game. Yes, this shows the very pretty version that we played at the convention. Ours is not that pretty. Wish it was, but it still gets the job done. How do you describe this game? It's a lot, but
point
it's not
salad.
that much.
Steffenfeld point salad. That's how you describe it.
Yeah, there's caches, there's a tower, there's different ways to score points, there's taking the caches, set collection, resources. I don't even know.
Like how you describe that. It was like doing the different steps out of order.
So
There's caches, the tower, and then you went to something else, and you pull them out of the tower. And
well, you cashies, you put them in the
I,
tower, you pull them out of the tower, and then you do all the points.
but I think you went to like something else, and I was just,
It's fine.
it's,
I know how this game works,
it's
but it just takes a minute to get my brain wrapped around what's happening. It's not that complicated. There's just kind of a lot of sections, and there's 12 different caches, which correspond to 12 different areas that you can play on. And so, yeah, in that way, it's kind of just, yeah, you got to know what everything's for. So,
yeah. And luckily, some of them kind of play similarly to each
yeah,
other.
very true.
So it's, you kind of have, yeah, two going up this one's bonus track thing you got, and
Yeah.
three kind of resource generators, and yeah,
There's a river involved, there's so much.
a lot of good stuff in this one.
Yeah, it is. It's a great game. We did have a lot of fun with it,
Is
or
this your
that
top
did.
Steffenfeld game of the year since we played like 20 of them?
Yes, I believe
10 of
it.
them.
I believe it is
They
because
just didn't make your list.
I wanted to put it on there, but after one playthrough, I just wasn't sure if I could put it on over some of these other ones that we played more than once. So
Hmm.
Yeah, I thought you liked
Bruges,
that.
Bruges
I
was
thought you liked that
pretty.
one more.
I did. I
You were
really
talking
did.
about it after on the car ride home, and I'm like, wow, she liked it that much.
I did like Bruges. I did. If you can find it, get it.
Oh boy, the green light, Zach. And he's like, well, then I needed free shipping, so I had to get to these other ones too.
I don't think Bruges is in print
Yeah,
right
I'd have
now,
to. That's
so
another one I'd have
Yeah.
to. Maybe someone has Bruges and Ticket to Ride Markland, and I can buy them both.
yeah.
Save on shipping.
I did think about putting Bruges on, but
Okay.
yeah, after I don't know, I struggle with putting games that I've only played once on it. If we had
Yeah,
if we had a version, probably would have made it because we would have played it again. But
yeah,
Mhm.
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good, but this one,
Well,
Marrakesh, was also really good.
oh yeah.
It's unfortunate this version was like $150, so.
Oh man. Oh man, can't believe you don't have the shiny version. Much less interested now. No. I have no such problem as putting a game on my list, having only played it once. Although I have played this twice because I did play a kind of solo learning game before I taught and played it with Zach. And this is probably maybe my only kind of like Euro-y type of game on my list, and it is the best one of the year. That is the Game Makers. This one was on Board Game Arena, and I love the theme that you are kind of creating games, hundreds of games that are individual cards that are actual games in real life. We have some prototype version here. I did not update this has been on lists before, so I saved these images. There are you can't back it anymore. Is that correct? There was a
Was there a
Is
late
there a
pledge?
late pledge? There
There
might
might
be
be
a
a late
late pledge.
pledge.
I'm not sure, but it was on crowdfunding, and you say you did end up back in this one, Zach?
I did.
Oh boy.
It's from the same person that designed Fromage and Formaggio, and it's got a similar mechanism to that.
Yes. That forklift wheel, which kind of like a forklift wheel in the center there, kind of a gimmick, but I hope that it works wonderfully. And it is, you're taking your forklifts in the kind of action wedge that is farthest back, and those are the actions that you have to take this round. And the furthest you go away, the more high powered the action is. But then, of course, the farther away your forklift will be, so the longer it'll take for you to get that action available to you again. Which, like Fromage, with that kind of rotating board, it just makes it so simple and so easy and intuitive that you don't have to put it in some cooldown track and remember to move the worker at a certain point. It's just clear on the board, built in. And the rest of the game is just a lot of different ways to score points, like the ton of mini games on your player board. Your player board is like 10 times as busy as what is going on here. You've got a bunch of tracks that you're moving up for scoring. You've got some tile placement. The cards, the games that you build themselves have some scoring conditions built onto them. You have worker placement, not only kind of with these forklifts that you're moving, but you can get more workers at your headquarters that can then be placed onto different building tiles and things like that that you acquire. A lot of stuff going on, and I like every single bit of it.
Yeah, it's really solid pick, and I did not have it on my list, and I don't know if I would count it next year if it comes, but I think that's how I was thinking of it,
Wow,
just in
wow,
case there
wow.
changes. But it's fair to be on the list, because yeah, it's solid game, and I love that it has actual games in it. They went out into all these different publishers and have like over 100 and 200 different actual board games that you're actually building. So I think that's a really cool thing. I love that
Yeah.
it's a great game to back that up. It's not just oh gimmick. We went and got this.
Yeah.
It actually paid off. So yeah, good pick. But yeah, talk about a production there. My number two, also a big time production. Finally, my Uchibakoya game that won't be on Max list because it's way too heavy. And their first game of it took probably 5 hours at 4 players. And I probably won't play at 4 players again either. But this one is Sweet Lands. Oh boy, look at that production! Look at that production!
Cookie rabbit token.
It's amazing. Yeah, and the theme just I love the theme of Sweet Lands. But then yeah, the color, the kind of pastel-y colors I think work really well along with all their wooden pieces. Uchibakoya does amazing productions, and this one's no different. But this is a very crunchy game. Might be one of the heaviest games, if not the heaviest game we own. Which yeah, it's kind of crazy that a game that looks so appealing
Yeah.
would snap you up because yeah, it's so heavy.
Switch.
Because yeah, there's the ordering in which you have to do things in this game is just very tight, and you kind of don't have that opportunity to mess up too much
No.
if you're playing against people that really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
We got like smacked by the people that we played with. We played this. I had the copy, but we hadn't gotten to the
Yeah.
table. People were playing at a convention we went to, so I'm like, oh, we'll learn kind of how to play through them. And oh boy, yeah, it's a lot going on. I really love how it works, but I will say it is quite heavy.
Yeah.
But the actual like actions and stuff,
Yeah.
I think are relatively simple. The board is simple. It's
Mhm.
got one of those like the first person to take an action only has to pay one
One.
thing, and then the second person that takes this has to pay two, and then three. And yeah, your cards are kind of your action
Resource.
point resource, along with also being playable in a couple different ways. So yeah, I really love how this one all comes together. It's an amazing game, and it's just unfortunate that it is so heavy. I don't know if I'll be able to get Michaela to play it as much as kind of those other Uchibakoya games, which are much more approachable.
And higher on my list.
Wow,
Yes.
wow. Heaviest game you own, not just of this year.
Of the
Oh
ones that I
my.
own that I've played.
Oh my goodness. I'm out. I'm out.
What?
I'm out.
Why?
The heaviest game you own.
I think Civolution might be heavier,
That's true.
Oh,
but
I was out on
I would rather play
Civolution
this one than
long
Civolution.
ago.
Revive is also kind of heavy.
Mm,
No?
no, not
Eh,
like
yeah.
this, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, this one's heavy. You're right. Yes, it's
Mhm.
very pretty, but it's a little bit of a bait and switch for what you're getting. So, excellent production. We'll give them that. My number two is finally a Return the Favor crossover with somebody. Everyone's been crossing over with me, but I'll finally cross over with someone else. And that
Pepper?
is Pepper.
Holy moly!
And we're gonna bring the FS for Forest Shuffle. I
Ooh.
haven't played the Dartmoor version,
Not
but
really a crossover, Mecca.
it
Totally
is
different games.
essentially
Yeah,
totally different game. In this way, we would get to showcase both sides of the coin. Um, and so I agree with everything Jesse said. This game has been so fun to play. I'm kind of a sucker for, I don't know if it's really hand management, it's basically like Tableau, I guess, building, but I really just love like trying to figure out the puzzle of like, okay, do I go for predators? Do I have bugs? Like, do I have mushrooms, birds? Like, what's coming up? Like, what can I get out? How can I do this? How can I do that? Um, and so everything that Jesse said, I totally agree with, and I think that you said about it. It's just been a really refreshing game to play, I think. It's kind of different, but at the same time, a challenge. And so I think to get that kind of balance, I think is really unique, and I think Forest Shuffle does that really well. The scoring is a pain in the butt, but we'll forgive that.
that's true. Board Game Arena scoring it for you is really nice.
That is
But
true.
there is an app for at least this
Yeah.
version of it that we tried with the last time we played it, and it did seem to work. So we'll obviously have to try it some more and see if it continues to work. But I think it allows you to kind of edit some things
Yeah.
as well, so it can at least get you close, and you just maybe have to double check. But
Hmm.
yeah, otherwise the scoring is the biggest pain.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. And my number one of the year is a crossover with Zach. It's another Bruno Catala game. Sea Salt and Paper is fantastic. Love, 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 love this game. Bit of push your luck. Bit of shoot the moon as you try to get some sets that are very unlikely with those anchors and try to end the round as quick as possible. I've had crazy games of this. Both the expansions are fantastic. Nothing more to say about it. Perfection. Bruno's back, maybe. Years ago when he made this.
He is back. He is back. It's weird. I don't know if I would have played it. I don't know if I would have thought this was a Bruno game. It's kind of
Oh, okay.
strange, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a really fun one. My number one of the year is also a crossover. This time with Mac.
Ooh.
It is Marrakesh. So also
Yes.
my favorite Feld game of the year. Yeah, set the bar high. We played it in January at
Yeah.
this convention, so it's kind of stuck around all year. I didn't know
Been
if it
fighting
would.
all those games off.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, that's why I had to get it played again because I'm like, I don't know if I'm just remembering it being better than it really is. But no, after a couple more plays of it recently, I'm like, yeah, it's an amazing game. It's right up there. Probably still below Castle of Burgundy for me, but it's probably my second favorite Feld game.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe someday it'll pass it, but we will have to see.
Mhm.
See. All right, my number one is rounding out the F's for our list today, and that is a funny game that I didn't think I was going to like at all, and that is Fromage.
Would you also
Ooh.
count
Yes,
Formaggio
and I
in
would also
this?
count Formaggio.
We played both. You played both
We
of them this
played
year.
both, and I gotta tell you, I was absolutely obsessed with Fromage after we played it the one time. I was like, wait a minute, what does this do? And I just remember asking to play it again, which is very rare for us. And so I think we've played it quite a few times since, and I just love everything about it. When you told me there was an expansion coming, I was like, get it, I don't care, which is totally beyond like what I normally do. But this game is so good. Like, I just love the scoring. I love how the worker placement works, all of it. It's just such a great game, and a nice little cheese wedge.
It really is. It's an amazing game. Pepper isn't on the bandwagon yet, but maybe he'll go back now with the game makers because
That's true.
I'm hoping that will recapture the magic again
Yeah.
in
Fromage
physical form.
Killer, the game makers.
No, 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 no. Don't even begin to say that, Pepper.
Put
Never.
it on the box.
Wow. But yeah, that's our top 10 of the year. Let us know in the comments below what you enjoyed in 2025. But otherwise, we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.